Tonight on News 5 Live, a Guinea Grass resident is shot and killed on the Mascal Road. Joint Public Accounts Committee held its second meeting of the year today following last week's fuss. A trio of police officers is standing trial for manslaughter and energy efficiency, how much it will save you by making the switch. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Make your summer better. Over $35,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Purchase any device, sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan, use $50 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text to the short code. You win 8946. And in the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase. Each entry costs only 50 cents.
Don't waste any time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes starting July 1st. All methods give you more chances to win. Airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize of a $10,000 shopping spree courtesy Court and Smart.
Promotion ends September 16, 2022. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
The BEL 24/7 app has a new look with tons of great features. You have the power at your fingertips to do much more with this powerful app. By using the recently added assistant feature, you can now request for new service. When an unplanned power outage is affecting your area, easily report it using the app, and our team will address promptly. Contacting us is easy. With just one click, you can instantly open a WhatsApp chat for your area and communicate with a customer service rep, or call us directly. The BEL 24/7 app has even more new features just for you. Check for the upgrade or download today.
Keep still now.
Ouch.
I tell you no move.
Man, you really can't get a mannequin for this, man? Really?
Well, son, if I never lend you the $2,000 to buy the kids' computer and the book, I may have the money for buy my mannequin.
It's definitely better to borrow from the bank than from your friends or relatives. This way, all you owe is money.
Would you like me to turn around?
That would be good. Turn on, turn on, turn on.
Take advantage of the back-to-school promotion currently being offered by the Belize Bank.
KTV.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
Feel the warmth of the shining sun, feel the cool of the breeze, hear the sound of the rolling waves.
Te quiero a ti, mi amor, aquí entre mis brazos.
If I take your call, light it on fire. Come 1, 2, 3. Baby, trust me when I say you ain't seen crazy.
Give me the bass, pump up the place. Give me the drums, bring down the place. Soulful people, soulful town, all year round.
I wanna know who said Creole no got no history. I wanna know who said Creole no got identity. When they 15 to 20.
They love me for my sneakers and my chocolate ice cream. Baila amiga.
People, that's my state. My country.
You need to clean your heart and stop the act shy. Clean up all the coconut shells and all the old tires. Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget
to tune in every Tuesday, live, only on 5.
In 2012, Belize established a national sustainable energy strategy, which includes the improvement of energy efficiency and conservation in Belize, among other objectives. With responsibility for energy, the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, and E-Governance is supporting the Belize Bureau of Standards to implement the CARICOM Energy Efficiency Labeling Scheme as a measure to provide consumers with pertinent information, ensure environmental quality, and address climate change. At the outset, importers and suppliers can register their approved energy-efficient appliances specific to refrigerators, air conditioners, CFL, and LED light bulbs with a BBS for label consignments. The energy labels will serve as a tool for consumers to access information of the appliance's energy performance and cost savings potential, thus helping consumers to make informed energy-efficient choices that will save on energy and therefore money.
Mom, why did you buy that fridge?
We bought this refrigerator because it is energy efficient, which means it uses less electricity and saves us money.
And what are you gonna do with that extra money?
I don't know, maybe we can get you something nicer for your birthday.
Yay!
And that is how the very hungry caterpillar got his energy efficient home.
For more information, please contact Belize Bureau of Standards via hotline telephone number 0800-283-5587. Email us at bbs@btl.net or visit our website at www.bbs.gov.bz. This message is brought to you by the Belize Bureau of Standards, supported by the Belize Energy Unit and funded by the European Union.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, July 21st. I am Sabrina Daly. Tonight, we begin our newscast with the murder of a 25-year-old Guinea Grass resident. Lisandro Martinez was shot and killed on Wednesday night as he headed to Boston Village in the Belize district on a motorcycle driven at the time by Jose Morales. A vehicle drove up beside them on the Old Northern Highway, and at around mile 5, a gunman from inside the vehicle took aim at Martinez. Up to 5 shots were fired and Martinez was struck multiple times. Morales escaped unscathed and managed to transport a mortally wounded Martinez to his house in Boston Village. Despite efforts to rush him to a hospital, the 25-year-old succumbed en route and was pronounced dead on arrival at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
A little over a week ago on July 12th, Guinea Grass resident Lisandro Martinez celebrated his 25th birthday. But he was without a job, and so on Wednesday, he relocated to Boston Village on the Old Northern Highway and began harvesting hardwoods from the Salt Creek area of Sandhill Village with his uncle Eddie Linares.
He come work for me and do logging. He come to load the logging from the truck. He come to help me. Yes. I load the logging in the truck gun and the evening and bring the people that at the house. He all right, man. Everything
so
all
that's
right.
his first day of work and
yes. I just be there and lay down for the hammock. I was asleep. And he come out to the shop.
It was his first full day of work, and around 6 o'clock, Martinez hopped onto a motorcycle driven by 18-year-old Jose Morales to go to a supermarket at mile 19 near the junction of the Philip Golson Highway and the Maskell Road to purchase some groceries. While returning to Boston Village, Morales realized that they were being followed by a black car.
Around 6:30, we were heading to the shop. Then we reached the shop and then we spent like 2 minutes buying the groceries and stuff like that. And we were heading back home on a slow speed, and I was talking to him about his life and stuff like that. Personal stuff, you know. And then when I saw a car just exiting the curve, but I didn't think nothing was like that bad was gonna happen because I live here around more than a year. So then I said, this guy is just gonna overtake us, and but then I saw the car a second time was closer, you know. But I didn't think nothing out of the box, you know. Then the third time when I saw the car again, it was already close, and then it started to shot fires at the guy.
Despite being traumatized, Morales managed to ride with Martinez to his house in Boston, where the 25-year-old was assisted into a vehicle and rushed to the Carl Hushner Memorial Hospital. Unfortunately, Martinez perished en route.
I just tried to flee from the scene, you know, because I was trying to save the guy's life.
Did you realize that he had been shot?
Yes. I realized that when he yelled, and then I saw blood. I just turned to see what's going on, you know. And I saw blood, and then I just said, man, this is something, like, you know, a lot of stuff just came to my mind, and I just tried to reach home. After I reached home, I just told him to just drop off of the cycle because I need to get help. And then he fell to the ground with, like, in pain, and then I got help, and we put him in the car and took him to the hospital, but then he passed away.
Before you guys reached out?
Yeah, he was already cold. I'm kind of traumatized because this is the first time one murder has happened near me, you know. I mean, I barely go out to catch this kind of things, you know.
It would appear that the target of the shooting was solely Martinez. His uncle remains perplexed as to why anyone would want him dead.
I feel bad. Yes. I never see he bring to the house and carry the man to the hospital where can help the cancer. He can survive. He dead on the road, yes.
Did at any point your nephew complained to you that somebody may threaten his life?
No, right here. No, he just come yesterday. No, you don't have enemies.
I asked him when he was passing away. I asked him if he had any problems with anybody here around this area. Then he said he denied 3 times no.
Based on the narrative that you weren't the intended target, because after the guy was shot, they didn't pursue you any at all. It wasn't that they wanted to rob you of your motorcycle or anything like that, right?
No. I think it was like a personal problem with him.
Credible sources tell News 5 that Martinez's death may have been retaliation for a previous incident in which the deceased had attacked a relative. Police are looking at all leads and reviewing surveillance footage from the area. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
In the wee hours of March 14, 2016, Edwin Ishtapak was beaten to death while in police custody in San Pedro town. In the wake of the incident, 3 police officers, PC's Raydel Tech, Jasimir Cobb, and Romelia Logan, were charged with murder. Today, the trio appeared before Justice Ricardo Sancroft in a trial by judge without jury. Representing the DPP's office was Reese Catus, while the 3 cops are being represented by attorney Oscar Salgado. The trial began on Monday, and today, 6 witness statements were read into evidence. The trial will continue on Monday, July 26, 2022. Logan, Cobb, and Tech are on interdiction, but out on bail for manslaughter. Last week, a group of social partner senators came forward in the media when their call for a meeting of the Joint Public Accounts Committee went unanswered. At the time, the chair of the task force told News 5 that her parliamentary colleagues could have simply made the request via phone. This was after only 1 meeting being held since the beginning of the year. Nonetheless, the Standing Committee of the House of Representatives held its third working meeting in camera today. The session was held inside the committee room of the National Assembly. There, they met with Financial Secretary Joseph Waite and discussed matters and concerns in respect of the backlog of the Auditor General's report, as well as the annual accounts that are to be submitted to the Auditor General. Additionally, the committee discussed the issue of the Auditor General's post being vacant for far too long. It was agreed that the post must be filled with urgency, and consequently, measures will be taken by JPAC to reach out to the Prime Minister's office to have the vacancy filled. Coming up, in Aviation Hub City in Belize, we'll tell you what Cabinet says about latest developments proposal.
As a parent, raising a family has its challenges.
How many times have I told you not to play ball in the house?
But growing up in a family has its challenges too.
I can't take this no more.
Let me share a little bit about what mine was like with you.
Uncle, where do you get your information from?
Right up on Facebook, you show me.
Guess what? Lisa got her period.
But don't get me wrong, we had fun too.
Well, like me, like 1, 2, 3.
I can't wait to share more about For We Family.
Who offers the best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. Diginet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan, a 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly, and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience, with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to DigiNet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, our national telecom.
This no right. Garbage in the streets, creating dump sites, throwing a trash on the highway. We not fit do that. Only we could stop this. Each of we play an important part in protecting our beautiful country. This that we believe. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
The Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation is proposing what is known as an aviation hub city for Belize. The idea, according to Minister Andrea Perez, is to prioritize the economic importance of the country within the context of regional aviation. The proposal was pitched to Cabinet on Tuesday and was well received. As a result, a ministerial working group made up of the Minister of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation, the Minister of Tourism and Diaspora Relations, and the Minister of Finance has been tasked with putting together a plan which will include a feasibility study for the proposed aviation hub city. News 5 spoke via Zoom with Minister Andrea Perez, who provided additional details on the initiative.
The most important thing that we have to understand now is that it is basically a concept. A concept as we plan for the next 15, 20 years in terms of civil aviation, in what direction we're going. It's about high time we be a government that we need to lift up our heads and see what's ahead of the future. We do know that we keep on talking about this rhetoric that, Belize is strategically located and we call ourselves the bridge between Central America and the Caribbean. That is something that we keep on talking. And as it relates to trade and other different ways that we do get along with the region, it's much to be desired other than just trade more with Central America and the Caribbean. So we're saying that in aviation, there is potential. And in direct talks with Belize being a member of ICAO, which is the International Civil Aviation Organization, they themselves are telling us that Central America is a strategic location to establish perhaps air cargo hub. Now, where that is going to be, if we were to pursue that avenue, it can either be that the PJA to expand on that as it relates to air cargo hub or to find different places. We don't know. What we do know is that we must take advantage of these opportunities that are coming by. Where we choose to go that path, it is up to us to seize on that opportunity to start the plans. It could either be Belize or it could either other Central American countries. So we have to pounce on that opportunity. And that was my presentation this week in Cabinet, that we ought to look at that plan, a concept that is going to be for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
According to the Minister of Civil Aviation, to every dollar that is made from employment in the aviation industry, $5 is generated.
This presentation was made in Cabinet, and it was well received by Cabinet, and the consensus was that we should pursue it. And we came to an agreement as well. As much as we take tourism, as much as we take agriculture as national priorities, we were able to drive that message that indeed aviation should play that role there as well as part of a national priority. And if we look at the figures, it speaks for itself, and it's factual out there. For every, especially in Central America, for every dollar that is created from jobs in aviation, it generates almost $5. One job that is created directly from aviation can create as much as 8 to 9 other job positions in Central America. So taking all of these into consideration, showing the facts to Cabinet, the Prime Minister has asked us to form a task group led by myself, including the Minister of Tourism and the Minister of Finance. So we have a deadline of 4 weeks to get together, come up with a roadmap, if you want to say that, and draft up the term of references, where the possibility that we can pursue in terms of funding, because obviously it's going to make a lot of funding. However, it is a long-term vision. That is the most important thing, is that we have to start as of now. It is not something that we're going to be doing for the next 2-3 years.
The Minister of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation also provided an update on technical support that has been committed to Belize by COSESNA, as well as the Federal Aviation Administration ahead of the 2023 International Civil Aviation Organization audits. On Wednesday, the U.S. Embassy and the government of Belize met to reaffirm the U.S.-Belize security partnership. The biannual bilateral meeting between the United States and Belize is to strengthen cooperation to combat national and regional challenges, such as narco-trafficking, human smuggling and trafficking, and gang violence. During the meeting, shared priorities in areas of citizen and border security, governance, and justice sector efficiency were discussed. Chargé d'Affaires Leila Moses-Ones led the U.S. delegation of officials from the U.S. Departments of State, Justice, and Defense, while Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa was accompanied by leaders in law enforcement and the criminal justice sector. The Chargé d'Affaires is quoted in the release saying, "Without security, there cannot be prosperity, and security is foundational to a thriving democracy." And in his remarks, Minister Musa said, quote, "Crime and insecurity negatively impact economic growth and social well-being, resulting in instability. Peace, security, and prosperity must be addressed jointly," unquote. From military support to assistance on countering transnational organized crime and improving the judicial system, the U.S. government has invested millions of dollars in personnel training, infrastructure development, vehicles, and equipment donations to Belize. After the break, dissecting Belize's debt to GDP ratio. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Save some money. After 75 years in the business, got you. Whether it tools or tiles, lights and fans, we are serving with a smile. Genuine plumbing and electric supply, quality construction supply, heating and air condition, 100% Belizean. Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings. Quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings. Quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings.
It's a cool back to school with tech tools from Cellular World. Beat the heat with the best prices on back to school supplies ever. Phone starts as low as $59, tablets at $155, and Chromebook bundles starts at $549. So come on in and enjoy massive discounts. 1-year warranty on all Samsung Galaxy phones and tablets, and get free SIM card data and bonus credit on selected purchases only at your #1 tech provider, Cellular World. Visit us at our stores in Belize City, Belmopan, and San Pedro, or shop with us online by sending us a message on WhatsApp at 615-5141. Find the perfect back-to-school bundle from July 4th to August 13th, only at Cellular World.
Yo, this is Super G the General, and I want to invite you all to the
Belize International Music and Food Festival.
That will be held for 2 nights, July 30th
and the 31st at Sakachispas Field. This party insane,
Mr. Chipova, you. As you left my yard, girl, know why you come back.
You know, it's yours truly, King Room Official.
It's your boy Stick the Artist.
My name is Pedro Williams.
It's your boy Dando.
Hi, my name is Deja.
TLC, baby. Blessings, everybody. This is Original Coffee inviting you out to the Belize International Music and Food Festival in San Pedro. There will be me, many other artists. There will be enough music, enough food. So come out, enjoy yourself.
The 2022 population and housing census is here, and our census staff will visit your home over the next 10 weeks. You may ask yourself, what can I expect when my household is visited? Well, data for the census will be collected in 2 parts. First, the interviewers will list all the buildings in their area of work and record some key characteristics of the building. For example, they will capture whether the building is a dwelling unit, a business, or an institution. They may ask you to confirm some information about the building when in doubt. The second part involves collecting information about each household, such as the number of persons living in the household, the type of dwelling they live in, and access to essential services. Information will also be collected about each household member, including newborns and the elderly. Remember, the data from the census is essential to make informed decisions and policies that could help improve your community. So when we knock on your door or holler at your gate, tell us to count me in. The Statistical Institute of Belize, providing Belize with quality, objective, and timely information.
KTV! Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
Feel the warmth of the shining sun, feel the cool of the breeze, hear the sound of the rolling waves.
Te quiero a ti, mi amor, aquí entre mis brazos.
If I take your call, light it on fire. Come 1, 2, 3, baby, trust me when I say you ain't seen crazy.
Give me the bass, pump up the place. Give me the drums, bring down the place. Soulful people, soulful town, all year round.
I wanna know who said Creole no got no history. I wanna know who said Creole no got identity. When they 15 to 20.
They love me for my sneakers and my chocolate ice cream. Baila amiga.
People, that's
You need to clean your heart and stop the act shy. Clean up all the coconut shells and all the old tires.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday, live, only on 5.
The Statistical Institute of Belize, SIB, reports that Belize's debt to GDP ratio has made a 45% fall from 133% in 2020 to 88%, where it currently stands. SIB points to the restructuring of the super bond to what is now the blue bond as a major contributor. CEO in the Ministry of Economic Development, Dr. Osman Martinez, told the media on Wednesday that there were other factors that also contributed to the drop.
One of the things that the government did first was the blue bond transaction, which reduced the debt by 12%. One transaction, 12%, which is a record throughout the whole world. You know, actually the environmental, the finance environment from Swiss have considered it as a unique transaction in the world and actually have awarded Belize for such a transaction. No? Two, the debt to GDP, the previous administration did not want it to do the GDP rebase. Why? Because the GDP rebase would have affect the present year in terms of growth. So last year growth, when we look at the rebase on GDP, would have been 16%. But this year, under the old methodology, for example, Q1 would have been almost 10%. Now, with this new methodology, it's only a little bit over 5%, almost 6%. So it's more accurate. Consumption, the last time it was calibrated, was using data from 1984 to 1996, you know, and so there was the 2000, they used the 2000 baseline, okay? No, we have done it, we calibrated it now, okay? So the consumption actually got, there is more consumption, why? Because there is, the population is much higher, there is more tourists in Belize, so that got calibrated. The next part that will be calibrated is investment. Investment is being, we need to do some work because the FDI, the foreign direct investment, is not being captured within the investment, and that plays a big role on it.
But while CEO Martinez and the SIB statistics present one figure, economist Carlos Magana raises questions as to whether that percentage was arrived at perhaps because some elements were eliminated.
It all depends the formulas that was used, the model that was taken into consideration to be able to classify what are the loans that the government has, what is the debt that the government has. So when you classify all these, I can almost imagine that certain types of debts were reclassified, and by doing so, then they are removed from certain values, and therefore when you work the ratio, it is going to give you a lower GDP to debt. I don't know how the blue bond was incorporated into the model. It has to do a lot. At this point, I am blind by statistics. I can only assume that these were taken into consideration. It is no longer considered a day-to-day debt because it has been readjusted, it has been refinanced into a total different way of dealing with that volume of money. So automatically, that is going to reduce. Is it wrong? No, it is not wrong. But what we need to know is how was it incorporated? 88, for me, I feel happy. As a Belizean, I am telling you, as an economist, I am telling you, I feel happy. No. Policy, government, monetary, and fiscal policy need to be very, very keen, especially the fiscal policy, so that we do not start to build up again on our debt ratio.
Earlier this week, we reported on the $20 million loan that the Social Security Board is providing to the Development Finance Corporation to be used on its mortgage program, as well as its real estate and infrastructure and refinancing programs. SSB will disperse the money every 2 years in tranches of $5 million. It is an investment that has attracted attention because of the high number of delinquent mortgage loans that occupy the weekly newspapers. News 5 turned to an independent economist, Carlos Magana, to ask his views about the investment that is being made. Magana said that while he does not have a problem with the investment, there needs to be every effort made to ensure that the monies are repaid.
Investment is necessary. Investment is what makes the economy to be able to grow. If we do not have investment in all sectors of the economy stays stagnant. I am sure that the Social Security Board has definitely worked with its actuary to be able to know if there is some sort of a investment that is going to return. Now, one thing that we need to remember here in Belize is that the Social Security Board is the largest employer of benefits. Being the largest employer of benefits, then it needs to be able to sustain with time all those benefits it needs to accumulate. And by the generations that we are having today, the lifespans of individuals are expanding. And if therefore the lifespan of individuals are expanding, the Social Security needs to have funding to be able to do so. Investments are necessary. I do not condemn the 20 million. The only thing that I would be as a contributor is, please ensure that the steps to recover that investment are very clear cut. There is no gap. There are no ifs. Let us eliminate the ifs. Let us eliminate the buts. Let us do away. Before we give the first tranche, let all that be moved away.
As the whole discussion of climate change and carbon credits takes shape, Belize being underdeveloped, as it were, is an advantage for us in the greater scheme of things. That's because we can benefit from a significant amount of money, possibly hundreds of millions of dollars, because we are still a green nation with a very tiny amount of greenhouse gas emissions compared to bigger countries. But CEO in the Ministry of Economic Development, Dr. Osman Martinez, says we have to get our laws in carbon credits in order first.
We need to formalize the trade of carbon credits in Belize. Red Plus have completed a program under the global, that program was financed by the Global Environmental Funds and is completed now. And they have identified anywhere around from 100 million to 500 million US dollars on carbon credits that Belize can make of carbon credits. So no, one of the limited resources that we have, not only in Belize but worldwide, is specialists that will be there to help us to formalize that legislation. So through the United Nations Environmental Program, UNEP, we will be getting some assistance into formalizing that legislation. However, the Ministry of Sustainable Development have been working with other law firms, and they already have a draft of the legislation of carbon credits. So we are serious in terms of where we're moving, in terms of that legislation. And the main objective is that Belizeans should enjoy that benefit.
When we return, squatters are taking up private land on northern Kikocker. But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RF&G Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RF&G Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package includes 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging will be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to Earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill, where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
KTV.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
Feel the warmth of the shining sun, feel the cool of the breeze, hear the sound of the rolling waves.
Te quiero a ti, mi amor, aquí entre mis brazos.
If I take your call, light it on fire. Come 1, 2, 3. Baby, trust me when I say you ain't seen crazy.
Give me the bass, pump up the place. Give me the drums, bring down the place. Soulful people, soulful town, all year round.
I wanna know who said Creole no got no history. I wanna know who said Creole no got identity. When they 15 to 20.
They love me for my sneakers and my chocolate ice cream. Baila amiga.
People, that's my style. I'm my country.
You need to clean your heart and stop the act shy. Clean up all the coconut shells and all the old tires.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday, live, only on 5.
Concerns have been raised about the illegal occupation of private lands north of Keekawker Village. News 5 understands that several persons have erected dwellings in an area on the other side of the split, and a recent encounter with squatters could have ended badly, as machetes were drawn reportedly. Earlier today, we asked Area Representative Andre Paris about the issue. He is conscious of the issue and says that the matter is being dealt with through the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Keekawker Village Council.
I am fully aware of this particular situation. But if I may venture in telling you that that is not only the only particular situation I'm aware of. There are many in Keekawker as well as here on Burgess Key. Look, I'm not here to kind of cause to throw blame, but in terms of Keekawker, the lands that have been plundered for the past 13, 15 years leaves very little land, or if not none, for the locals in Keekawker, the people, the Keekakeños who are born there. There's many generations coming. The generation there's nothing we can guarantee there's a piece of land for them. And consequently, these are the results that we're getting from the people who are squatting there. The laws of the land have to prevail, of course. And in this particular instance, we have been informed about it, and the Ministry of Natural Resources is taking care of it, and that they're issuing the letters that they have to vacate the place, and it's being done via the village council.
A recent Sustainable Energy for All report by the United Nations indicates that countries across the Caribbean are unable to meet their energy demands. CARICOM's Regional Organization for Standards and Quality has sounded the alarm, stating that efforts to address sustainability in energy use are needed now more than ever. Saving money on energy is one place to start. Upgrading outdated equipment and utilizing efficient appliances can aid in this regard. CARICOM is taking a systematic approach towards this end through its Regional Efficiency Labeling Scheme, launched back in 2019. Belize committed to piloting the labels, and today the Belize Bureau of Standards signed a cooperation agreement with the Mexican Association of Normalization and Certification for technical assistance in fulfilling its commitment. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Your refrigerator, light bulbs, and air conditioning units may be burning more energy than you have bargained to pay for, consequently leading to soaring monthly electricity bills. Using energy-efficient alternatives to these appliances will lower your monthly electricity bill, reduce the country's energy demand, and decrease your carbon footprint. In response to the high energy costs and usage within the region, the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality launched the CARICOM Regional Energy Efficiency Labeling Scheme back in 2019.
The aim is to have minimum energy performance standards,
right? So that you could minimize the energy use. So across the 3 different items, that is ideally what these standards objectively are trying to achieve.
Jose Trejo, director of the Belize Bureau of Standards, is leading the charge in Belize's commitment to pilot an energy-efficient labeling framework for the CARICOM region. Through labeling, consumers will better understand just how much energy they can save by purchasing certain appliances. Importers will also be better informed on what appliances meet the standards and quality outlined within the scheme.
At the macro level is, again, making good energy choices so that when you implement the standards that, you as a consumer, if you're sensitized enough, educated, and understand, then that you make those choices based on again, we have a labeling scheme that will guide the consumer in making those choices. And those, like I mentioned earlier, the label is pegged to meeting the requirements of the standards, and then of course ensuring that when the product lands from a particular country, that it meets the requirements of the standards.
There is no data specific to Belize which indicates how much energy is being wasted in households and businesses through the use of outdated refrigerators, light bulbs, and air conditioning units. However, one study by the Inter-American Development Bank found that investing in energy efficiency could yield up to $6 billion in economic benefits over the next 20 years for the region. The Mexican Association of Normalization and Certification will be providing the Belize Bureau of Standards with the technical support required to establish such a labeling framework. Mexico is one of CARICOM's main sources for refrigerators.
We are going to develop the technical capabilities and capacities. Eventually, I always draw a parallel with biodegradable products. We've gotten a lot of training with biodegradable products to understand what we're looking at, so that we could make precise evaluations of all the documentation that comes to us at the point of importation or at the point when the Bureau is provided with that documentation. So this signing of this agreement here is to formalize the relationship with an entity like ANSE, and we envision that immediately, almost with immediacy, that we will be sending technicians there, or technicians will be coming from Mexico to help train our staff as it relates to the standard, to understanding the technical requirements, understanding their systems, how it functions.
The first standard that we developed for refrigerators, it was published 30 years ago. And at that time, a refrigerator used to, let's think of the same refrigerator, 9 feet, 10 feet, square feet. And at that time, that refrigerator used to consume 950 kilowatts per hour per year. Now, the same size of refrigerator is around 350 something, which at the end for the user, sometimes I mean, even we as technicals or engineers between this, when you talk about kilowatts, it's not easy to see. But when you think that that's 20 or 30 US dollars per month, what you are saving just changing your refrigerator, that was the part that impulsed 10, 15 years ago in Mexico to create a massive program of substitution of refrigerators.
The Belize Bureau of Standards anticipates that sensitization and education will shift the culture for quality in Belize, which will trigger a market response towards consumer preferences.
We're not telling the consumer to get rid of the appliance. What we're doing is building the knowledge and the education at some point that the next purchase, what's the lifespan of a refrigerator is what, maybe 7, 8, 15 years, I don't know. But we're seeing, I guess, in the next 10 years, whenever you make your next purchase, that it will be based on this.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The Light Up Belize project, an initiative of the European Union, is providing the financial support needed for the Belize Bureau of Standards to develop its energy-efficient labeling framework. Glenn Morris, the team leader at Light Up Belize, was present at this morning's event. He gave us an overview of aid being provided.
What we are supported to do by the European Union is to work with partners like BBS to support this capacity building, for example. So we have a budget to support this event. We have the budget to support travel expenses for ANSE or otherwise for staff from BBS, and then training so that this is possible for the Belizean stakeholders. I would also introduce the topic of the customs officials, the retailers, that the salespeople on the floor at courts should understand what's the energy efficiency label all about. And so it's an awareness program, but as we know, awareness takes time. And so we are very happy to be able to prepare materials. You have seen the video. It's the first. There will be others. There will be pamphlets. There will be events where we will possibly have events at the retailer, so that when customers are coming to the retailer, they can say, what's this about? Why is this label here? And there could be materials to inform them. And I think that's also something that I think touches on the question that you raised about the carrot or the stick. And I think it's the carrot. So I think you will see that the retailers will quickly see that they will shift product, they will sell product, they will have customers when they have products that comply. And so it will quite soon happen that automatically the market will transform. It does take time because people are not buying and replacing cars or refrigerators or AC units. But you can already see it. The AC units in Belize are slowly but quite noticeably shifting towards more efficient inverter-based technology.
The second of 2 U.S. Air Force flights that were scheduled to transport emergency response vehicles to Belize in July arrived today carrying 2 ambulances, 2 support trucks, and medical supplies. The donation was made possible through a U.S. government-funded Central American Regional Security Initiative Economic Support Fund grant. The fund was established to improve accessibility and effectiveness of government services. In 2021, the nonprofit Belize Heroes was awarded $250,000 US through the fund for the enhancement of medical services in the Cayo district. Minister of Disaster Risk Management Orlando Habet was on hand to receive the donation. Minister Habet noted that, quote, providing immediate and effective life-saving care in a safe and clinical working environment with maximum mobility and extremely important in our society, end quote. Roberto Reverol, the Emergency Medical Services Project Liaison Officer for the Belize Heroes, added, quote, Belize Heroes believes that pre-hospital emergency medical services is a basic human right and should be accessible to all who needs it, regardless of their socioeconomic status. And we continue to work toward achieving that, unquote. To date, the United States has provided over $9 million US in grant funding through the CARSI Economic Support Fund in Belize. Just ahead, the International Music and Food Festival is expected to bring added economic activity to San Pedro.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
When all hope is lost and the days ahead look grim, we find ourselves looking for someone to shake things up, rescue us, and point us in the right direction. What if the one we've been waiting for has been here all along? Join us for our new series, Troublemaker, as we learn about a man who wasn't afraid to stand up for what's right to make this world a better place.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
And Messi is standing over this. Messi.
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
The Belize International Music and Food Festival is less than 2 weeks away. And while the performing artists are fine-tuning their sets, the San Pedro Town Council and area representative Andrea Perez are looking forward to the first-of-its-kind event on the island. It's not to say that La Isla Bonita has not hosted international concerts or other events that draw throngs of people to the island. In fact, Perez told News 5 earlier today that it is time for San Pedro to seriously consider the construction of a world-class venue.
We're anxiously awaiting the event. It is going to be one of its first, the way it's coming, and by all information that we're coming, the hotels are booked out. I keep on getting people who are interested in coming for that weekend. We have family members, friends that are coming on. So obviously we cannot run away about the economic impact, the positive economic impact it's going to have on Ambergris Key and Belize Rural South and a whole, including Key Carver as well. However, we've done several events before this year, and by all accounts that we're showing, it is a tremendous success. What that says is that now that we are coming to this, the music festival is the closing of the summer season with events. We from Ambergris Key, myself as the area rep, as well as the town council, we now have to look at steps of stepping up the game. For example, having a very good event place that can host almost every weekend an event, whether it's a music festival, whether it's a conference, or maybe if there's a conference of doctors that are coming along the world who are going to have a symposium here that will come for a symposium and at the same time vacation, we need to have that kind of event. We have people coming up and approaching me that would like to have boxing events, sporting events. So it's not only related only to music, but we're saying that now with this success that we're having this year with all the different events that have occurred, it is high time that we look for a permanent event, a permanent center or a complex center that we're able to host people, whether it's rain or shine, we're able to do it.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.